Welcome everyone to Veda Day 12. Veda meaning video every day in April. And I want to start off by saying that anyone that comments on this video today, instead of doing shout outs, please subscribe to all those channels. And I have some of the best people that subscribe to me, and they just are awesome. And so it's a great way to, connect and meet more people. Now, as part of what I'm doing for Veda is I want to share ideas on how to build your channel. And I'm out this morning looking at our farm. I didn't go to church today. I wasn't feeling good. Starting to feel better. Clay's still working in the barn. Wave. I'm doing Veda.
Veda Loca?
He's still working in the barn. There's nothing quite so beautiful as the chickens in the morning. And just to tell you how things work out, Clay and I yesterday were talking about who we should keep and who we should let go. And one of our farming friends popped over and bought a couple of the extra roosters. Or I don't know, roosters, chickens. I don't know if they're roosters or not. But so two of the silkies are gone. And that was because, we just kind of look through the chickens, and if we get too many, we try to, balance out the farm. So we just felt like we only needed two splash chickens of silkies, and because the rest of them are going to be white. So we have enough there, so because we don't want to get overrun, because there's only two of us and we can only eat so many eggs, and our flock will dwindle down more as the time goes. And a lot of it has to do with who I like. Like, I like this little red rooster, so the guy was interested in Little Red, but I didn't want to let him go because I really enjoy him. And Blue, the older rooster, we're not sure he's a rooster, we think he's a rooster. He just, he's been here, so we're happy with him. So we kept one of the new guys, and we just, like I said, until we hear them all doing their things, we think that they might all be roosters, but we're not sure. You can't really always tell until they start crowing. Clay, did those two that we sold yesterday, were they roosters? The two silkies we sold yesterday, were they roosters?
Yes.
Okay, they were roosters. Okay, so we sold two roosters. So, anyway, now as far as building your channel is concerned, you want to relentlessly market your channel, and get outside of the even the YouTube world. You want to make business cards, t-shirts. Everywhere you go, give someone a business card or an index card with your YouTube address on it and all that type of thing. So that's something I did in the past as a top recruiter and top salesperson. I just always had material, and everywhere I went, I post up on every bulletin board and hand out cards and had car signs on my car, and even setting up tables if you want to go that far in stores and stuff, handing out, flyers, and you can even set up a television set and say, check out my channel. I mean, that's another way, depending on how aggressive you want to get with it. It's like, say, these fairs and stuff. I wouldn't pay for anything, because as a past recruiter, lots of people used to pay for all these things, and I used to get all this stuff for free. You can also find different websites and stuff and type up your website. Like, say you're teaching a class on beauty or something, you can put free classes and maybe leave your YouTube address. So that's another way. Get outside of the YouTube world and into the real world, and think, if you had to, kind of get on the other side, if you had to sell your website, or if you were hired to sell the information about subscribing to your channel. So that's something else you can do. As I'm getting older, I'm a little bit more set in my ways. I guess it's kind of like been there, done that, so I'm a little bit more relaxed on some of that stuff. But in my younger days, I was pretty aggressive about getting everything done. As I'm getting older, I kind of have the attitude it is what it is. Slow and steady wins the race. And of course, good content. Some people go up like a rocket and down like a rock because you have to have that good content that people want to hear. And sometimes, I hate to say it this way, but sometimes just experience and age. You know, sometimes it's the longer you're doing things, the more experiences that you have. But that doesn't always, mean anything. Sometimes the young jackrabbits, so to speak, are out there and they're hustling. So, at any age, it all depends on what your way and what your goal is for your channel. Some people want to become a top YouTuber. Some people, like us, we just want to teach life skills. So we're thankful for our following, whether it's 10 people or a billion. We just want to serve the people that are following us. But like I said, if you're out to make $1 billion with YouTube and stuff, maybe you have different goals than we do. Our goal, like I said, is just to teach people for free life skills that help them. And so we don't care if we have 10 followers or 1 million. It's nice to have the numbers, but what comes up can go down just as quick. Sometimes you'll see it in celebrities. They'll be wonderful, and 5 years later, people don't even want to watch them. So sometimes just being consistent. One thing I've learned in life is the faithful. Just faithfully do a video as often as you can handle it, whether it's once a month, once a day, and whatever is your personality. And sometimes too, I guess I'll throw this out for what it's worth. I always say, who told you that? Make it yours. Everyone's going to tell you how to run things. Like, I was a recruiter for 1,000 people, and people would always have tons of advice from me. I'd look at their numbers, and they weren't even selling, but they wanted to tell me how to run my business. And I guess my attitude is this: do what works for you and make it yours. And just because one guy did something a certain way doesn't mean that's the way you should go. I think more than anything, just let your personality shine out. Be you. Let your channel be you. And eventually, you will get the followers that are going to connect with you. And just because one person did it this way doesn't mean that's the way you should do it. I mean, there is something to be said about not rewriting the book. But in the same sense, don't get stuck in the mode that you have to do what everyone else does, because there's lots of people that do things differently. And so I guess my thought is, if you're not having fun, maybe, make it fun. Make it something you look forward to every day, and don't get worried about the numbers, because eventually the numbers will be there. So, and slow and steady win the race. But like I said, it's good to build up numbers and things if that's what you want to do too. So I guess the moral of, I'm kind of going back and forth, but the moral of the story is, in good time, it's like networking. Sometimes you can work really hard at making friendships, and they naturally happen anyway. So, do what you can, and at the end, find your comfort level, what works for you. So with that is my Veda Day 12 tips on building your channel. I'll leave it with this because I have this thought. One thing that I always did when I had top sellers, because I had like tons of people that, like I had like 1,000 reps underneath me. And one thing I always did that I think was smart is, if I had a top seller, I always just left them alone. I figured they know what they're doing, so I don't need to bug them, give them a bunch of sales training. I mean, if they asked me for help, I'd be right there. Anything they wanted, I'd give to them. But they were doing it, you know what I mean? So I didn't have to feel bad. If I had someone calling me saying, I'm not making my numbers, well, I'd work with that person. But I'm just saying that for the most part, if you're doing it and you're getting numbers every week, just keep doing those things that are helping you get numbers. And just, eventually you'll get what you need. So just don't stress about it and have a good time with it. So that's the thing. If you're not having fun, then there's millions and millions of ways to make money out there. And if you're in it for YouTube to make money, but I think that the best way to do it is in it to have fun, and the money's a bonus. If you ever make money on YouTube. So we haven't made any money on YouTube yet, but that doesn't mean we won't in the future. But I just haven't really pursued and looked into it that much. I monetized some of my videos just to see what that was all about. But if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, oh well, you know. But anyway, that's today's Veda. Clay, say goodbye.
Clay, say goodbye.
We'll see you in our next YouTube video. God bless.